Today I'm going to show you how to make the perfect roasted tomato soup and a cheesy toastie that goes with it. So if you are looking for a comforting meal to warm you up on a cold day, then this recipe is for you. To start the recipe, I am going to preheat my oven to 210 degrees Celsius. For this recipe, I recommend using the Roma or the jam tomato, and about 3 kilograms of tomatoes should do the trick. Take your tomatoes and cut them in half. Now place your tomato halves on a baking tray or in an oven-proof dish with the flesh side down. Next, we are going to add some flavor. Take 1 whole head of garlic and break it into individual cloves. You can keep the skin of the garlic cloves on. Arrange the garlic cloves in between the tomatoes. Next, take a handful of thyme, about 10 to 12 sprigs, and also arrange that in between the tomatoes. The garlic and the thyme will infuse this soup with an incredible depth of flavor. Now we need some olive oil to drizzle over our tomatoes. When that is done, add some salt and freshly ground black pepper. You can season your tomatoes generously, as this will be the only time that we will add some salt. Some pepper grinders can be tedious to use when you have to grind quite a lot of pepper. So we got this coffee grinder that we now use as a pepper grinder. You can set the grind to your preference, and it makes pepper grinding over a whole tray of tomatoes a breeze. We will link the coffee grinder down below. Once you have seasoned the tomatoes, the tray is ready to go into your preheated oven. Now roast your tomatoes for about an hour or until the flesh looks almost burnt. Once the tomatoes are roasted, we'll remove them from the oven. And there you have it, roasted to perfection. Remove the thyme sprigs and the garlic cloves. You can discard the thyme, but keep the garlic because we are going to add it again in just a moment. Now put your tomatoes in batches into a blender. Squeeze about 5 of the garlic cloves into the first batch. Or if you really like garlic, you are welcome to squeeze out the whole lot of them. Now blend it until smooth. I am blending my tomatoes with my food processor attachment of my Kenwood. If you do not have a food processor or a blender, you can also use a stick blender. Pour the blended tomatoes into a pot and add 30 milliliters of sugar, half a tablespoon of oregano, and half a tablespoon of parsley. We also need to add 3 cups of vegetable stock. You can use 1 cup of liquid just to wash out that last bits of blended tomato that's still in your blender. Now that everything is in our pot, bring the soup to a boil and simmer it for about 5 to 10 minutes. And that's it for the soup. Now let's make a delicious toastie to go with our soup. I'll be showing you 3 different combinations, and let us know in the comments which one you think will be your favorite. Take your favorite bread. I like to use sourdough, or like I'm using now, is what we call a oma broodjie. On one of the sandwiches, I will only add a double layer of cheese. You can use your favorite cheese. We prefer Gouda or cheddar. For the second sandwich, I made some crispy bacon in the air fryer. Now, put on some cheese, bacon, and another layer of cheese. For our third combination, chop some chorizo and then put a layer of cheese, chorizo, and some more cheese. Put your sandwich in a toaster and toast it a little. Then open the toaster, add some butter, and continue to toast it until it is a golden brown color. While your toaster is in the toaster, you can dish up your soup. So our tomato soup is ready to taste. All it needs now is a bit of freshly ground black pepper and a dollop of pouring cream. And then we're gonna taste. This amazing winter warmer you can either freeze, or you can have a look at this video to see how we make our prawn pasta.